G'day, today we're going to have a look at, I think it's session 5 of Oxygen Not Included. Thank you again for the comments in the previous video. Definitely again pointing me in the direction of where I should be looking. Seemingly the most important one everyone was pointing me towards was this priorities tab up here and getting this sorted out. Now I believe it was that I want someone to have high priority in cooking, so that'll be Mima. And then it was 2 people in, we'll go what, I think it was someone in research, possibly 2 in research. And then with our others we will go, we want digging. I believe there's another one which would be Algae. And we might give, neither of these two have any reference to digging. We'll make Stinky our builder. And I don't know, we'll maybe give Rowan a little bit, the 2 of them, just as our sort of swing guy. And we'll start there with that. Alright, so let's jump straight in. Maybe not that fast. Okay. I do like that in the comments. I think that there's starting to be 2 different factions of people. Those who are genuinely really trying to help me in the suggestions, and those that are also happy to stop giving the suggestions and just watch me play through and crash and burn. And I fully support your decision if you're sitting on either side of that. Both options are certainly more than fair. So the other piece of feedback was that this is too far away, so I guess I'm going to have to put it here. I don't know if this guy's now going to be in the way that I need it closer because of where that is sitting. What I'll do is I'll deconstruct that guy, and I'll try putting him here and see if that's adjacent enough. I suppose the other thing that I could do is just to sort of save spending too much time trying to figure this out. Let's build that. Dig out those 2. I'm sure this is going to work anyway. That'll work. And then what we'll do is we can deconstruct this and then construct a ladder over here. Let's deconstruct that. So I can build a ladder over the top of it, but obviously I've got to check that in there. And we can then just put a tile there as well, just a little bit prettier. And then gotta remember where that station was sitting. Dock, put it in there. Now the other thing that I'm going to try and do with this video series is pick up the pace of it. Whereas at the moment I'm putting out 1 video every 5 days, 6 days or so, I think it is. And I think that it's even hurting my momentum in trying to stay focused on what's going on. So with one of my other series that I'm putting up every 2nd day, winding up, once that's done, which should only be, I would probably say by the time the next video after this one would come out, at that point we'll pick up the pace on this guy and I guess hit our untimely end, but at least I'll have a better understanding of what I'm doing. The other question that I have actually for those who comment on this video, one common phrase that comes into a lot of the comments at start is almost like anytime you're about to explain something, you have to do this. Let me give you a brief explanation of physics, or one thing you might need to know. Out of curiosity, is physics just something that a lot of you are interested in, that brought you into this game, or is it the reverse, that your understanding of physics was greatly improved by playing this game? Because I can wholeheartedly believe both, that you loved this game so much that you wanted to essentially to beat it, you had to learn physics, or the opposite, that you just genuinely love physics and then this was a great escape to apply your chosen field to sort of just have some fun with it. Genuinely curious about that because there seems to be a lot of knowledge on just physics in general. It's definitely not something I ever did even in high school. So I would say I don't even have a high school level of physics understanding. I did bail on science as quick as I could. English and math and geography were my my strong suits. Okay, so now that we've got this built in here, no gas intake oxygen. Not configured. Okay, so also delivers suit. No gas intake. I'll just take the blossom seed on this one. Okay, we'll up our mush bars again, because I think that... I assume that this up here is suggesting that I've dropped in the amount of, yeah, available calories that I have. I mean, I assume that it would drop anyway if they've just eaten, but I don't know what a critical level would be, but I assume that making food is going to be important. That's not bad. I mean, produce 395, consume 403. I'm pretty happy with that. Why have I got no power running to this guy anymore? That's fair enough. Someone did mention that I should have more algae farms as well. I just feel that my problem is that it feels that algae is very much a finite resource here. That once I use it all, I'm not quite sure what my next move would be there. And it seems like all of my oxygen is based on algae. Yeah, I'm a bit unsure about what route that is. I mean, it more says that soon I need to have some other means of making oxygen. Doesn't rely on it. Now, the other thing I do wonder about is I know that sometimes I've had sand on the roof and that's collapsed. So say if I continue to dig down this way, at what point does this sort of consider itself loose? I mean, I imagine that we're not really looking at it, that it's not physically that I've cut everything out from around it. This is still a cave, so there are walls to the left and the right that are supporting this up. So I can imagine that there's no problem with it if I did want to dig all the way down over to this coal. Yeah, I do want to try and figure out something to do with this gas in here. It does seem problematic. Okay, let's pick a new research. Power regulation. We'll go fossil fuels. I think one of the harder things that I'm finding for where I'm at in this game is that everything is fine. If I'm just looking at this on a pure base level, I tell them to make food, my guys make food. The air is 100% saying breathability. There's no stress. So I feel like you've definitely all got... You know where this is going to take a bad turn. Whereas for me, I'm still not... I haven't encountered anything that's sort of like, it doesn't matter how much I've spent, any potential weird choices that I've made, there is yet to have been a consequence for any choice that I've made. I'm certain that at some point that is going to dramatically change. So far, I can still live in my ignorant bliss. That is until I read the comments on what people suggest I do, and it sounds like I'm setting myself up for catastrophe at some point. Okay, so we're going to dig over here just to get to the coal. I feel that coal's going to have some significance in this game. I'm not sure that I've got that much. I've got 5 tons. But I want to have access to coal. So that's what I'm doing over here. I'm also curious about these sort of rooms. I mean, they give me... It just says computer desks. And I guess I could build sort of like up and across and get up here, but... I mean, if it's just the desks, it doesn't seem like anything apart from the shine bugs. Now, is shine bugs beneficial? I know that one of my measurements up here is light. So will they be happier if there are shine bugs around? I know there was one guy early on that was unhappy because there was a shine bug around while he was trying to sleep. Obviously, that could be fixed if I did set up isolated barracks. That's right, Hassan, you're almost over it. Now, I'm still getting something wrong here. No gas intake oxygen. Gas intake. This building's gas intake does not have a pipe connected. Okay. So I assume that would mean I would need it attached to... that, and then I would need the pump running again. I mean, it's not making the complaint anymore, but that's also not running. I mean, it's obviously its status is awaiting delivery, so I need to make a suit somewhere, I guess, for that to... I guess those are my main achievements. Not achievements, like goals, I suppose. Starting to look a bit more out and around into what is around us. Now, I guess what I need to do is disable this. Is the problem's gonna... well, not so much that one. Enable that one. Much rather I've got to disable that one. Because it's just basically stopping anyone cutting through at the moment. And I guess I may as well do it in bad oxygen. Hydrogen. We fly through some of these researchers. I was almost still going on that one. What I want materials. Phosphate, sandstone, granite, algae. And there's a few big chunks of algae around, I suppose. And down here. Huge amount in this as well. You can see this guy's powering through here to make that gas descend even further. Oh look, there's not really that much in the way of, unless we dig all the way down to this coal and copper. Seems like a lot of sandstone, which I assume is one of the more useless things in the game. Let's just forward with our food. And what I might do is I'll just try digging like a... digging down so there's a gap. And I guess just put a ladder in that section there. If we can get that gas to descend into that hole. Yeah, it's moving its way down, I'd say. So our barracks. Let's think about what we can do. Get a separated barracks. Now, what I think we want to do is, I know that one of the big things is the size of the room, so we don't want it bigger than 64 tiles. So what we might try doing is building up. Build a barracks up here, and at the same time we can grab some of this algae. So, start off with a ladder. Here, actually, no, let's cancel that last one. Cancel, cool. And then what we will do is dig out it's an acceptable level of one room. And what we'll do is we'll dig out the other way too. And what we can do is we can try and build two different bunk rooms up there. We'll call them barracks. Because we need the single comfy beds. Now I guess if I'm already on the path of doing this, is that something that I can make? What would I consider a comfy bed to be sitting under? Decor? Rocketry. Cool. Colony development. Well, it doesn't stand out to me there. But that's alright. We can always upgrade them. Yeah, double check as well to make sure I didn't already have them. It wouldn't surprise me if it slipped me by. Seems like we can spend a lot of time working on critters. Sounds interesting. Greenhouse room. Tell me about a greenhouse room. Farm station. Alright. So let's find somewhere to build a greenhouse. We might be able to use one of these two sides of this, I suppose. Fit 6 cots on one of these sides. 1, 2, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The problem is Stinky snores. I don't know if maybe I should just do 5 and leave Stinky out. But I don't know if I can assign Stinky to a bed to... Or if he'll just take it upon himself to be the one that sleeps elsewhere. I mean, I still haven't reached the point where I assume that I should just be saying just make an infinite amount mush bars till I say otherwise. But I mean, it does seem like we're all generally pretty low on mush bars all the time. Or at least calories all the time, rather. I imagine we don't want to be living off mush bars forever. Quite happy with how this works, because if this overflows, then what will happen is I'll fall down and go down here. It's quite good. Okay. So this has been broken out, so what we can do is go base, tile, tile, door, and then one, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then on this side we will go farm station. Let's go for medicine this time. Doesn't much matter what it gives us. Checking to see if there's anything else. I suppose idleness would be something that would be good for me to see. And have that Yeah, permanently showing up there. I think that'd be a good one. Just so I can be aware if someone's standing around doing nothing. Definitely batteries is a problem I have. I don't know if it's potentially that my batteries aren't getting charged all the way to maximum by the time that they go to sleep, that they can't withstand it sort of overnight, or if or if they're using more than a full set of batteries can actually sustain. Now, I've just pulled up a few of the beds. I think there should be one more if I've got my math right, unless someone's been sleeping on the floor this whole time. We'll leave this one here and see Stinky opts for that. Let's mention something else as well while it's going along. Just because this is, I've been thinking about this for a few weeks now, and you guys are enjoying physics. Maybe you can solve this puzzle for me. There's a podcast I listen to called Ooh Spooky, 3 O's and an H. If you ever want to look up them on any sort of podcast network, I might post a link to it in this particular part in the comments of this video. In one of their recent videos, they're reading, one of the books that they read from is a Ripley's Believe It or Not book from 1955. And one of the questions that, like, just sort of like a riddle style question that this has in the book is how many, what would the smallest amount of people in a crowd be if 43% of the crowd were children? And the answer the book gives is 800. They can't figure out the answer. I've pondered that from as many angles as I can that did the definition of crowd change or what. I can't figure out the answer. Well, I know you guys definitely enjoy your brain puzzles if you're enjoying this game. I'll post a link to that particular part of the video, so it'll just jump to the point where they pose that question because they are quite long. Give a listen to it because potentially it's in the wording, but I think I have done the wording justice there. Why do you need 344 kids? Why does the crowd have to have 800 people in it? Why would it have to be, what, 566, I think, adults it is, just off the top of my head, if I'm remembering that right. What were they doing differently in 1955? Alright, so our breathability is still holding at 100%. I do feel like I can see a lot more bad gas around. And that does feel like that's something I really need to start addressing. Even though the breathability is still declaring at 100, I'm not. I'm not confident with that. I feel like as well the other trick to this game is that everything that I do is going to counter is going to give me solutions as well as problems. So for example, if I use coal, I'm going to have energy solutions, but I'm going to have pollution problems. It does seem like critter wrangling is a trait that I need to have a look at. See if it's worth someone having. Can be used as a floor tile. So I'd imagine that I don't want to make the floor of those tiles. I do appreciate the makeshift suggestion of getting the gases and everything down below. And that's a quick fix sort of solution to move those negatives just out of the sort of general populace. I'm still not happy with that. I mean, I assume that it's going to be that I need to move into a different power system. It produces carbon dioxide and polluted water. Whereas the manual generator doesn't. Achieve something. Construct a building outside the initial starting biome. Yeah, I'll take that. Look at me. This is the other thing that really seems fascinating in this, when we start dealing with switches. And I reckon another battery I'm going to invest in. I can see that those ones at the top have maxed out. This one's still going. But obviously if we're... if we're having our power die on us, that surely has to be something that I should be addressing. And at the moment, I don't want to dive into these other the other fuel types, because I don't feel I'm in a place where I'm prepared for the consequences of them. If I know that I can have these guys doing the manual generators, I still seem to have the available time for them to be doing that, then yeah, let's keep doing it. Until the obvious solution presents itself, or that I've got a setup that's in place that's going to allow me to have my air pollution okay. I mean, I can already see that breathability's taken a little bit of a dip there. It does look like that's looking a bit nasty up there, but it's not. So what is this then? What am I incorrectly looking at? I mean, there are definitely chunks around it up there that aren't breathable. Yeah. I mean, that looks bad, right? This is what a healthy air surely looks like. But this, I mean, this is obviously why that's bad, but what's going on up there? You're not happy about that? Illumination. Yeah, I'll prove that guy. I thought there might have been a reason why I'd not been using those bristle blossoms. Let's just swing into something new. Improved ventilation. Yeah, let's go for that, since we're going to start looking into our ventilations options. I realized I haven't had a look to see where Stinky's been sleeping when they go to bed. And he's going up and he's picking dead center. He's got no concerns at all. No options I can see that I can tell him to assign him to a bed. Not cool, Stinky, not cool. Ellie's now going to be the only one getting a good night's rest. There's only 4 people sleeping up there. Am I miscounting my... It was Hassan sleeping somewhere else too. There it is. That's the other bed I've been not seeing. Okay, so we'll make this our last cycle of the game. I'm not going to get rid of that bed just because Stinky is still going up there and... What does say unassigned? So I could say... Right, I can assign it. Right, Stinky. That's your cot. Ellie, that's your cot. And that's Rowan, so we'll say Rowan, that's your cot up there. And then this one we can deconstruct. In fact, what we can do, just to be a little bit nicer for Stinky, is we can give him a door. Body temperature. There's a heat overlay up here somewhere, I think. Sounds too warm. It looks pretty similar to everything else around, I would have thought. What are the stations? Crafting station. Do I have a crafting station already? Have I built one of those? Not sure I have. Let's get one of those in our build. It's going to need power. So let's put it up where the beds used to be. We should have a look at these. And that doesn't seem too bad. I mean, I guess we don't have the materials for it. Oh, let's just slow down. I don't think it's necessarily crucial at this point. Our food's been alright. Significantly reduces. Yeah, that's probably more what we want. One that we can use to cure. Go 12 of them just so we got 2 for everyone to start with. I guess the back of that room is it's different to the rest. Not enough that I can see a difference. Now, I might have missed it, but I think that we actually did hold overnight. I can certainly see that our power is close to full on everything there. Hopefully our 2 extra batteries are helping out. And again, that's I mean, I can see that the consume last cycle has gone up, which obviously suggests, I think someone mentioned that if they're breathing in dirty air, they're going to breathe more. So I'd say that's probably my problem there. Right, at least this time we'll see Stinky sleep in his little room there, and hopefully everyone else get a better night's sleep. It's good to see. Glad I figured that one out. Those of you who write comments as you watch along and then submit it at the end, I hope you can at least delete that one about Stinky and his bed placement. That one we got to all by ourselves. Alright, but I would say that probably brings us to the end of part 5. Thanks for watching. Obviously, any suggestions, chuck them below. Yeah, and hopefully soon you'll see a few more of these a bit quicker. Till then, catch you later.